So hello, everyone. My name is Evan Gatesman, and this is the Sustainability Podcast from Nevada Conservation Youth, where we're working to create conversations around conservation. And for those of you who don't know us, we're the independent political voice of Nevada's conservation community. We work to maintain and enhance the natural character of Nevada and the quality of life for Nevadans through effective advocacy, the election of pro-conservation candidates, and building collaboration. And our topic today is founded in the River. And so this is a clean comedy video series where they're picking up and selling trash from a river and using those funds to further their cause and their mission of cleaning up the river. So it's my pleasure to introduce our next guest, Wes, who just quit his job as a vineyard worker and bought a camper to travel the world with his friend, Nick Polini. So how did you guys meet and decided to collaborate?
Interesting story. We're both involved with circus arts, and the Lancaster Circus School provided a platform for Wes and I to meet. And Wes came into the school as kind of like a musician who like didn't really want to fit with the music crowd exactly, and like didn't know where to go. So he found the circus people, and we kind of took him in, and he's been one of us.
Yeah, so I wanted to learn how to spin staff, and I went in there for an open gym that they have, and there was literally nobody there except for Sheena, one of the founding members. And she kept telling me to come back, and she kept contacting me over and over. And like I felt nervous about coming back, and then eventually I did come back, and I fit in really well. And yeah, I learned how to spin staff, and
he got really good at it.
Perfect. Nice. So what made you guys start, what made you guys decide to start selling river trash, and how did you guys come up with that idea?
Well, initially, Nick came up with the idea to start selling river trash.
And honestly, it was kind of a joke at first, because my one friend and I, my friend Matt Garrick, we were just like hiking around one night around the river of the Susquehanna River, and there was like this basketball in the water. And actually, at the end of every episode, we include this original clip just because like it's like a shout out to our roots, you know. So there was like this basketball in the water, and Matt was filming me trying to like get the ball with a stick, and I almost like sunk into the mud and just tried to get the stick and did like a funny redneck accent. And then after I got it, we were like, oh, I could sell this for like $6, $6.50. And it just turned into like a thing. Actually, so that was the first piece of trash that kind of brought the idea into my head. And then I was a biologist. I was a fisheries biologist for 4 years. And I worked along the river. And the one day I was in the boat, and it was shallow enough where I could see the bottom, and I saw this scummy pair of glasses, and I picked them up, and I was like, they're like designer scum glasses, and I was like, I'll sell these. Found it in the river, and I was like, wait, I could do it. Let's just try it. So I put them on an Instagram account when I got home, and like wrote up a funny, stupid description for them, and people found it and were like, wait, this is stupid, but it's like pretty funny. So
for a long time while I was knowing Nick, I didn't even know about this side project he had. And actually, shortly after I met him and we became friends, I traveled to South America. And there I started to try to build a vlog, and I started to fall in love with film work. So when I got home, I was trying to work on this vlog a little more, and Nick joined me in this one episode about combating depression with natural means. And he played this ridiculous character who...
It was basically me.
Yeah, he was joggling through like the park, so he was juggling and jogging at the same time.
In tight short shorts with like spandex. It was weird.
We were basically just having him do weird things and like have people's reactions to him doing it. So we had a lot of fun with that project, and he kept telling me all along that he was interested in working together on his project, founded in River. Well, at first I was resistant to it, and then I started to see the possibilities that were there. And so I really wanted to turn it into a show. And so then Nick and I started working on it. And initially it was for my own vlog, but then we both had this realization on the same day. I was at work, and I think Nick was at work too. And we both just realized that this is the project we both wanted to work on. Really, we're just trying to make the idea of cleaning the river more fun, you know, and just to keep it in the back of people's minds. So they see our hilarious show and automatically you're out on a hike or something and you see some trash and you're like, found it in the river.
Yeah. We've had people say this to us. They've been like, hey, we were out on a hike and we saw this piece of trash and we were like, hey, found it in the river right there. And they cleaned it up. Boom. That's it right there. That's the message. That's the reason we're doing this. Yeah.
And so like at that point, I started really to dive into film work. I invested money in the things that I really wanted to do this project. And like, we've never looked back. It's just like,
it's just been smooth sailing.
The first couple episodes, well, each episode that goes by, there's just these massive improvements in our like talents. Yeah. And I noticed that in my film work, but also Nick's writing the scripts, and like he does such an incredible job. And every episode, it feels more and more like a show. We're just really proud of ourselves.
It's like this really goofy cartoon with actual people. It's like a live action cartoon that sells river trash and does stupid, weird, trippy things.
And ultimately, this project is for activism. We want to create a movement. We want to inspire people to join us in like river cleanups that we organize, but we also want to encourage people to pick up trash on their own. We didn't want to be preachy to people, because I feel like a lot of people don't respond well to being preached to. We already know that plastic is a problem, and everybody can see it. And there's some places that are worse than others. So we don't need to tell people that there's a problem. It's very obvious to see, but all we really want to do is shed light to it and do it in a hilarious way so it stays in the back of people's minds.
We want it to be subliminal enough where we're like, hey, we sell river trash on the internet. And people are like, wait, where's this trash coming from? Oh my God, it's us. We got to clean up the trash. So that's kind of like, we want them to realize that they should be doing their part.
And just be in the mind frame constantly of just like protecting and preserving the world we live in.
Wow. Nice. That's beautiful, man. Thank you for that. So if you guys didn't catch it, you can find them easily by searching on YouTube. Found it in the FKN River. And so this is a clean comedy video series where they're picking up and selling trash from a river and using those funds to further their cause and their mission of cleaning up the river. So it's a really benevolent and cool cause. So thank you so much for your hard work, guys. I really appreciate it.
No doubt.
Yeah, thank you.
Buy our river trash.
Awesome. Yeah, actually, where would people buy your river trash? Is that just eBay or what?
Well, that's something we're starting to figure out. Initially, we've been like just telling people to comment us. And now we're realizing that since people are catching on to what we're trying to do, and actually like people really believe in what we're trying to do, that we're thinking of starting auctions on eBay and actually like linking that in the description of our videos so that we can potentially raise more money for our cause. Someone actually bought River Boi's hat, a prop that was in our first 3 episodes.
And I did find the hat in the river like 3 years ago when I was in my biology job. Then we tried to sell it.
Somebody bought it for $100, and they bought it in a jar of river water. We told them if they bought it within 2 weeks, we would sell it to them in a jar of authentic river water.
And it would contain the macroinvertebrates that we found it in.
In the next 2 weeks, we'll send it to you in a jar of authentic river water that we found it in, and the small ecosystem of macroinvertebrates that was living in it before we done hosed it down.
But we realized when we sold this hat for $100 that people are starting to understand what our cause is. And we're finding so much support within our local community early on before our episodes are actually being viewed by thousands and thousands of people.
Right.
And so since we've started to realize the potential that we have together to create something really awesome, we've decided to try and turn these into auctions and raise as much money as possible.
But also, people are just donating to our cause. We actually just got $20 donated from Luther Wilmot. He's been following us on the Instagram account. So basically, I started the Instagram account years ago, but it didn't really catch on until Wes came into the picture and we made the YouTube out of it. But yeah, he's been following for a while, and he wanted to help us out. So that was super cool. I don't even know the guy. But
amazing.
Thank you, Luther. We have done several like river cleanups together as like small groups. But when we do it, we have it all planned out. We want people to treat it like a party. Treat it like they're not going to go clean up river trash. They're going to go party and clean up river trash. They can dress however they want. They can be whatever characters they want, and they can just have a great time and have a really great time.
Yeah, actually, along those lines, the first river cleanup that Nick and I did with our girlfriends, we ended up having a lot of fun, but then we found a spot that was particularly trashed, and it was just above Auburn Dam in central Pennsylvania, and it was just completely littered. There was so many bottles just on the bank. And it was a very sobering reminder of what we're doing this for.
Yeah.
And so, like, although we did have a really good time, we also noticed the impact even more in that situation.
It's pretty terrifying, man. Some of the places we've like tried to clean up, like we do need a team. We need a mass amount of people to pick up plastic and all this garbage that people just throw into the rivers, or they throw on the sidewalks and it ends up in the river.
Yeah, and I've actually, looking into this more, I've realized that, since we're not recycling any of our plastic anymore, we throw it into landfills and it can still run off into the river. So even if we're throwing things away, it can still end up in the river. And there's already a lot of plastic out there, and it takes forever to deteriorate. And even when it does, it turns into a thick soup on the top part of the ocean, and it gets mistaken as plankton. So filter feeders like whales and everything, they end up just eating all this plastic. And basically, someone needs to do something about this, and it might as well be all of us. And so we're trying to inspire as many people as possible to help us out, because we've all used single-use plastics. It's very hard to avoid. It's in this day and age, plastic is all over. And so eventually these plastics aren't going to exist anymore. We're not going to be manufacturing these forever because of the impact they have. But until then, we have to do something about the plastic that's already in circulation.
Indeed. Couldn't agree more. So how do you guys go about recruiting for your efforts? I mean, if you just tell your neighbor, go next door and knock and say, hey, do you want to go to the river and clean up trash? That doesn't really work. Is that why you guys kind of focus on the party aspect of it? You're like, it's the party, right, and then
we've got this giant list of people that already just they like the show, they're fans of the show, and they want to come help.
They've contacted us, just us, like sending our message out there, but not being preachy to people, and just like making it fun. Automatically, I really believe that people want to do something about like the world's issues, but they're just not sure how to do it. And really all you need to do is just give them an outlet. Psst, it's working.
But yeah, we're excited for the future of this, man. It's turning out to be a big thing. And we've had a lot of local people reach out to us. We've been featured on this variety show. It's like an online variety series that a Lancaster art studio, our friend Jesse Clark, shout out Jesse, does every Tuesday. And we've been on the show like 3 times now, and they've aired 3 of our episodes. And people seem to really like it, and it's giving us awesome exposure for our message.
Perfect. Let's take a little bit of a turn. What makes you guys work well as a team? And can you kind of describe that process of what it looks like to make this project?
Wes is really good with a camera.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of challenges working together because it's like a relationship for real. We see the best and the worst in each other, and sometimes that can be really difficult. And I know that it's tested me in a lot of ways, and it's taught me to be more patient and softer, and just to explain how I feel and to not get worked up when there is a problem. And yeah, I feel like just working together with Nick has really helped me grow in a lot of ways. And that's one big reason I want to continue doing it.
We actually did we put the ultimate stress on ourselves recently. We filmed episode 4, Death of a River Trash Salesman, in 72 hours. Not just filmed it in 72 hours. We wrote the script, we filmed it, Wes edited it, and we sent it into this 72-hour film contest.
Yeah, so basically it was a Friday afternoon, and I heard about this contest, and they just sprung it on everybody. It was the Peter McKinnon 72-hour film contest. And so I heard about it Friday afternoon at work, and then I told Nick about it, and so we decided to do it. So I wrote half the script, and then I went to sleep. Nick wrote the other half the script, and then like everything just fell together after that. It was definitely very challenging, but we put it together, and that was our episode 4, Death of a River Trash Salesman.
But if that's taught us anything, it's taught us how to work well together under mass pressure.
Yeah, I only freaked out like 3 times, and
3.5.
Nick talked me down, and he helped me like regain my composure. And yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for Nick.
I wouldn't be able to do it if it weren't for Wes.
Thanks for that, guys. That's really amazing. Yeah, it's really challenging to work together as a team. What was that turnover time from beginning to finish for that project that you just mentioned?
So I was amazed but we actually were 3 hours early on the deadline. So since we found out Friday afternoon, it was around 60 hours that we did this.
And we had already planned on filming episode 4 as a completely different episode. So basically what happened is we put that one off, and we wrote our own episode.
You know, so this is what's funny about it. Our episode 3 was called Hat for Dads. So normally the episode is just a big infomercial about River Boi selling a product.
Right.
And in this case, he was selling his hat for $100. Well, somebody contacted us to buy the hat, and then I realized that was probably the best route to make an episode out of. River Boi is selling his hat, and he feels sad that he's losing a piece of himself. So then the episode took shape around that idea.
Wow.
And then we met a trash fairy. She was made of trash.
I'm going to have to go and watch that one.
Yeah, you should watch that one. It's the funny one.
She had a trash tutu. I wouldn't say she was made out of trash.
She wasn't made out of trash, but she had a lot of trash on her, and she had a trash tutu on. We never really discussed what she did. She was just the trash fairy. She didn't really. She was stuck in a bottle.
She created the resolution to that episode.
That's what she was for.
She helped resolve the conflict.
What was the resolution? You'll have to go watch episode 4.
Dun, dun, dun. I love it, guys. I do have a couple of crawfish jokes.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't actually check out these jokes for content or whatever, and of course they're not original. The first one's from the nichols.com. That's Nichols, I believe. So why does Michael Jackson love crawfish?
Oh man, I don't know.
Well, it's because they speak softly, they walk backwards, they reproduce externally, and they can't sue.
That's awesome.
Ba-doom. Do you have another crawfish joke?
Yeah, tell us another crawfish. Oh, shit. I gotta take this. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys.
All right.
Well, I'm here.
No problem. Sorry about that. Anyway. Yeah, I just wanted to know, like, what's the coolest thing you found in the river?
Well, actually, we found a bunch of really cool stuff in the FKN River.
Oh, it's River Boi.
What's he doing here?
Foot. His name is Footy. He's a reoccurring character on our show. Here
Yeah,
you go, Wes.
He's in every episode.
Now, let me tell you about this here piece of river trash beauty loveliness. This right here is the Mr. Mick exercise object. You tie it around your neck, and then you put your arm through it, and you wrap it around your knees, and you staple it to the backs of your fat, stupid knees. And for the rest of it, you're going to have to watch episode 1, because we are selling this object in episode 1. Would you like to see one more object we brought today?
Yeah, let me see what you got.
Here's a sneaky peek right here. This is the Pinkman floor ornament for artisans and anarchists. This right here, sir, is the river trash we're selling in episode 5. So check out episode 5 when it comes on out. I gotta love the river trash. I sleep next to it all the time, and I'm getting a real bad respiratory infection from it.
Wow. Well,
That's why we're trying to sell it.
I'm glad you showed up.
Back, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you showed up, River Boy. I totally heard of you. So your mission is to clean up. You clean up the river so that the crawdads will come back. Is that your main mission?
Yeah. So a while ago, I was just searching for crawdads, and I started seeing less and less of them, and a lot more river trash. But I figured if I just clean up the river trash, maybe the crawdads will come back. So I just start cleaning up the river trash, and I ain't seen too many crawdads, but it's doing something.
Yeah, I remember he was telling me too that when the crawdads started disappearing, he had to resort to becoming a squirrel hat manufacturer.
I used to manufacture squirrel hats when the crawdads started disappearing.
So I'm wondering, was it hats for squirrels, or was it like a hat made out of a squirrel?
It was you know what a squirrel is?
Yeah.
Squirrels need hats, so you make them hats.
Oh, so it was hats for squirrels.
Hats for squirrels. It didn't do too good. It went under. Bad business. Don't get into squirrel hat manufacturing. Bad news bears.
We should do an episode, hats for squirrels. We already have hat for dads. We can do
hats for squirrels.
Hats for squirrels.
If it does as well as my squirrel hat business does, it's not going to do very well.
So what makes you love crawdads so much?
Have you ever tried a crawdad?
Just look at them. They're beautiful. I'm not Nick.
Before I met River Boi, he sold some trash without my help.
I sold some trash without his help, but it was dumb stuff like a little piece of a little plastic flosser. What else? A little action figure, a pizza dough, Pillsbury Doughboy action figure. I sold a cool squirt gun for like $7.
So what was the most expensive thing you guys ever sold from the river to support your cause?
Hat.
It was was it like $100? Did you say?
$100.
$100 for that river hat.
100 gosh darn
God.
bucks.
It's amazing.
We sold it in 1 week. See,
Wow.
we can do bigger things together than we ever did separately.
When I was selling river trash by myself, I was just selling it for like $4.20, $7. Not too much.
And now people are giving us money, and we're also starting to organize auctions for river trash.
So how could they donate to you easily? Like, what does that process look like?
We have a Venmo account, which is at River Boi, RIVERBOI, not Y, I. But yeah, if they want to donate to our Venmo account, that's totally cool.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys, and thank you so much for joining me for our fourth podcast with the River Comedy Cleanup Team. Thank you so much for being on our show. I just wanted to mention that you should check out their River Cleanup comedy series on YouTube called I Found It in the SK and River, once again, if you missed that. And our Facebook page, you should totally check out as well, Nevada Conservation League. And this was the Sustainability Podcast. Thank you for hanging out.